My name is Will. I am a second Don candidate, as you all know by now. What we're going to cover today are some throw combinations, especially because in Rondori, you often have learned a throw, and then you go for that throw a bunch of times, and the person isn't there. They're not the way they're supposed to be. So we're going to start from the same one and then adjust to failing at it in a couple different ways. Can I get a volunteer, please, who knows how to take a shoulder throw? Your hand went up, and I've seen you take shoulder throws. Thank you, Brandon. So we're going to start with two-arm shoulder throw. Show of hands, are people familiar with two-arm shoulder throw? Okay, cool. So first I will just demonstrate one arm because I think that's a little bit more common and more frequently seen. I don't need an attack, we'll just start square. So I'm going to get my sleeve and my collar, and I need to get him off balance towards me, like I'm going to do any given forward throw. For this, I'm getting this nice pinch right on his triceps, hopefully bruising him, but not too much, not too frequently. Get a nice pinch here, and I'm going to turn and keep him loaded up on me as much as I can during that turn as I come down and pull him over. The shoulder is large as the fulcrum here. So to do a two-arm shoulder throw, instead, start square, please. There we go. I'm not going to give up this lapel grab, lapel grab to get this. Instead, I'm pulling him forward, and it's here. I'm still pulling him up onto me. I'm still spiraling down. The fulcrum is still the shoulder, but I am keeping both arms on him. This changes the angle somewhat. This changes, obviously, where my grips are. So one more time for that two-arm shoulder throw. We'll start from this nice standard judo grip. I'm going to get him off balance, and I need to make sure that just like for one-arm shoulder throw, I'm getting all the way around and keeping him up, squatting down. Plug that one a little bit. But just to show you the foot position, I'm not going to actually do the throw this time. But without hands, I'm still coming forward, coming around, right in front of him, and pulling him up and over. Does that make sense? Questions or comments? So before we get into any combinations, let's practice some two-arm shoulder throw. Find a partner, try it a couple of times, get that. Nice. Yeah. Come on back. So, there are many options for what that collar side. Sorry. I was thinking the same thing. I imagine it. So, question was, what is this elbow doing that is grabbing on the collar side? To simplify things for today, the thing that I am thinking about doing is I've got this off balance, and this is coming all the way across over here as I'm pulling his weight up onto me. If what you do is, unfortunately, what I initially demonstrated, which is you come in here, now this elbow is jacked up in here, and now it's like, it's going to start doing some odd things, and also it's keeping him away from me. So I'm letting it come across so that as I spiral down, I can still pull him over my shoulder as the fulcrum. Does that make sense? Okay. I don't want to think about it that way because that runs into that same problem of framing him away when what I want to do is pull him up onto me. Yeah, you're using it as some of the structure, but I don't want to think of pushing, I guess is the important thing here. That's what I'm being pedantic about. Yes, another thing, I'm not going to do the full throw, but a kinetic mnemonic, I guess, for this is that I'm uppercutting him. So I pull him off balance, and then this fist wants to go up as I am sinking down. And that helps to think about getting them over me. Very good question. Others? Yes. Very.
the very bottom.
As low as you can possibly go. You can think about it in comparison to an ippon seonagi, where you're the drop knee shoulder throw, and that is how you're changing that level. So to do these shoulder throws, you need to be very low. What helps with this one is that I am actually using this arm to drive him up somewhat as I'm coming down, and that gives me a little bit more space to work with. Cool. So that is our two-arm shoulder throw. Now we've learned it. If we went directly into randori and I tried to do it to Kobe, and he knows what's coming, and I go, yeah, I'm gonna do this, then he has so many options for keeping me from doing it. He has blocked me at the hip. He can just move away and I can't two-arm shoulder throw him from there, right? So I need to have other options for when I get here, and I've been, if you block here, we'll just do the counter throw setup that we've been using. I come in here, he blocks that. What am I going to do? There's no way that I can actually complete this throw from here. The thing I want to think about with throw combinations is changing the angle that I am working with. From here, I actually have, from here, I'm going to go into that lifting, pulling hip throw. So what I'm going to do is, since I know that I'm being blocked here and I can't actually finish this spiral in, I'm going to keep moving this way as I drop and turn that into more of a hip throw. The basis behind this, I think of it as two things that are really changing. One is the level. So one thing that I have changed is I was coming in here and I was going to try to get him over my shoulder. He's blocking me and putting momentum at the level of my hip-ish. I want to drop under that so that the fulcrum that I am using is no longer at the spot that he is keeping me from, no longer at the thing he's keeping me from using. Kind of flubbed my words there. Is that making sense? I can try to say it again. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, just from this direction then. So I go in for that two-arm shoulder throw. I'm blocked right there. And what this does is it keeps me from being able to move in the way I want to, keeps me from getting to come all the way across like I want to with my elbow. So instead, what I'm doing is dropping my level and turning this into that lifting, pulling hip throw, which without a partner, so we had our two-arm shoulder throw that was here, spiraling down, coming over. Slight difference. Two-arm shoulder throw came in, got blocked. Now I'm going to drop and get the hips out and pull all the way around in a circle. They are similar.
So the key difference,
yes, sir,
is the change in the fulcrum. So the fulcrum goes from the shoulder to the hip. Just do it one more time and watch how the shoulder throws over the shoulder. He blocks, he turns, and now it's turning into a hip.
Yeah, from the other angle. So going for that shoulder throw, it's getting blocked at the hip. I was going to try to, remember, get him up here. Now instead, I'm here, and I'm going to try to, I'm switching the fulcrum, so I'm dropping under. Hip is coming out a little bit, but mostly, was that a little bit more clear visually? A standard, just a regular old hip throw, right? Getting him off balance. I'm here. It is a hip throw because I pop this hip out, and that's what I'm lifting him up onto. You know that. That is why it's a hip throw. Other hip throws I can do around the head, lifting the hip, right? Lifting, pulling hip throw. I'm dropping fairly low to do this. I'm putting the fulcrum is still my hip. It's just very low down on his body. So I'm here, dropping. There it is. Lapel mic. Woo! All right. important part of this, what the partner is doing, what Kobe is doing, is he's blocking me at the hip to keep me from completing the turn for the shoulder throw. So I'm coming in here, he's blocked me. So as a partner, you make sure you're getting this, and as a thrower, you're not trying to just do a shoulder throw. Get into this position, let yourself get blocked, and then change that angle. Again, and donate your lapel mic if you have one. Great. Okay, go with the partner. Thank you, Kobe. You have another guy. Yep. Better. Yes. Yeah. Definitely better. Don't just skip in for it. Keep your base. We talked about base. We're not going to get too into it, but keep your base. You did it again. So let me just demonstrate very slowly. So right, I'm coming in for this. Right, I'm not going to try to right, not for this drill at least. I'm here, step in, sweep, drive. I missed a little bit, but not toolbox here. One of the things that I saw, which segues very nicely into our final combination from this, is people having trouble with the partners. As a partner, you still don't want to get thrown, even if you want to be a good partner. And so a lot of it is trying to just get away from it, right? To resist that throw. So let's work with that. Why not? Can we get a partner, please? Yeah. I've lost my lapel. It is, haha. They'll never give me one of these again. All right, so same opener. Just keep that nice and simple. But now, instead of getting blocked or instead of just a polar bear, James is going to step that left foot back in an attempt to keep me from getting a good shoulder throw angle. So I'm coming in, that left foot goes away. But what's very nice about this is what's available. I've got a whole other leg to work with. So what I'm going to do is I can't do a bad major outer reap and just sort of hack, right? Two important things. One is this hand. This hand needs to come up and over, just like I would for a nice major outer reap, right? And then the second thing is I've got to get past him. I can't just go from here. So just to start it from the beginning again. So you're just taking that step back with the left foot, coming in, goes away. I've got to get past, so I might take a little step here. This comes over, major outer reap. One more time. Perfect world for this major outer reap. Let's see, I think this is a good angle. One thing that I can do to help my basic major outer reap is, we all know we're driving the bus, right? We're doing that. But one way to keep friction and surface area in contact with them to get a good one and be able to drive that bus is I'm up here and I've got pressure on his collarbone. I'm using the collarbone to drive the pectoral girdle, shoulders, and driving here. That's the same thing I'm thinking about as we do this counter. I came in, it didn't work, oh no, hitting that collarbone as I come past for the major outer reap. Is that what you're getting at, or have I missed a component? Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Was that clear to everyone? You'll have time to play with it. And we're heading into, we might have time for one more thing to play with. Maybe not, depends. But you know what? That's too many words. Find a partner, try this a couple of times. Thank you. On which clock I'm looking at, just a couple minutes either way. First, questions, problems, concerns that arose from that combination. Cool. So now in your toolbox, you have three different options for where you have tried to go into a forward throw, specifically a two arm shoulder throw, and it has been stopped. You've been bamboozled. But if you continue to be bamboozled for too long, you're going to get thrown and you're going to lose your base. So, based on where your partner has gone, where their feet are, did they polar bear, did they block you, you need to adjust and do your second throw. I was about to say too many words. So for our final couple of minutes, get with a partner and still slowly, mindfully, you know, if you just like flub it and stuff, you're not going to learn stuff. So person getting thrown, do some block of some kind that we have been working today. And then thrower, adjust to what has happened, to their feet, their weight, etc., using one of these three techniques. Make sense? All right.
Three techniques are it was just real violence.
Really good for the street.
I would try to do the
Yeah. Oh.